addressed and addressing social justice by working out.
Our Erica Tarantal takes us to one location of inner city weightlifting and explains how they're promoting positive change in tonight's Fight for Good.
Feel the stretch?
Certified personal trainer Brandon Bannister is growing his client roster.
Let's get a good sweat.
Yvette Terry describing him as fun, firm when needed.
I trust that not only does he knows what he's doing, he knows what my goals are.
Get your elbows outside of your legs.
It's my journey, and he's happy to just be a part of it. That's his motto, at least.
Brandon's journey has been complicated. He's from Mission Hill.
It's a lot of poverty, obstacles, and a lot of good and bad influence.
Focused on the future, the weight of his past is heavy. He carries convictions and time lost, 6 years in prison.
I did a long sentence for things I did as a juvenile. I was convicted young, and then later on it still came back to haunt me. I mean, I wasn't into the right things. Now I'm around the right people that got me onto the right things, and ICW is a part of it.
ICW is Inner City Weightlifting, a program that started in Dorchester nearly 15 years ago, focused on weightlifting and workforce development, training participants to be personal trainers.
Today we really view ourselves as a social justice organization, leveraging the social enterprise of personal training to amplify the voice and agency of people in our program.
One more.
Most people in our program have been impacted by mass incarceration. And in that setting, you're judged, you're told who you are oftentimes based on just a sliver of that person's life, because there's not that search for circumstance. There's not that acknowledgement of the environmental factors that someone's facing.
Founder John Feynman says in the gym, power dynamics flip and social bridges are built.
Good job. Come up slowly.
This gym is part of a corporate amenity space. ICW designed and manages it. Rahul Danda co-founded 2 companies leasing in the building. Benefits go both ways.
They've done a number of things that have helped build teamwork within my company. Being there as a resource to train or coach has brought a lot of my team into the gym. But even better is that they have a bunch of sponsored activities, events, and competitions.
Brandon speaks a lot about personal responsibility.
And it all starts around the people that you surround yourself with. It's very infectious. If you're around someone that's at the barbershop all day, you're gonna end up getting a haircut. If you're with someone that's in the gym all day, you can end up training. So I was around people who were, doing street stuff, so I ended up doing street stuff. And that wasn't the right thing to do.
John says society also bears responsibility. He believes real relationships can lead to solutions.
3, you squeeze.
Change here isn't just about the change in our participants, which is asking the people who are responding to the inequities to also be the source of change, without understanding our own role as a society, as individuals. And I think when that happens among our personal training clients, that's what starts to disrupt that weaponized fear that gets used to judge someone.
Yes, and push out strong.
He's really passionate, knowledgeable, and friendly. Those are things that, I really appreciate about him, and that's helped me.
It's a win-win situation. Every day I wake up and come here, I'm bettering myself while I'm helping someone better their health.
Let's go.
Let's get them gains.
Appreciate it, man.
You already know. Thank you, man. Thank you, man.
ICW now has 4 gyms in and around the Boston area. They make an effort to keep addresses confidential to personal training clients. If you're looking to improve your health and fitness or are a developer in need of expertise, they'd love you to get in touch. Connect through our website, WCVB.com. Erica Tarantal, WCVB News Center 5.